Hello and welcome to Journeys of Restoration. I am your host, Jacinta Canary, and here on this channel, I talk about my journeys of forgiveness, my mental health, my faith as a woman of God, and all things wellness and well-being. We're in season 3. I can't believe it after being petrified of starting in the first place. I'm here. And if you can remember last time, I was really, really depleted, really run down. And I'm happy to say I'm back, refreshed, revived, revitalized, and renewed. And this season, I'm really going to look at my mental health and mental health also from a Christian perspective, faith perspective, and looking at how space impacts us when we come into the world. We come into a space, we come from our mother's womb or another space into a space where nurtured, loved, developed, toddler, primary school, high school, then tertiary education if you do, or working, the journey, and just the journey starts. And I've been reflecting a lot on space and how I see space and looking at space in general, looking at mental health space, my brain space, my spiritual space, my body, my soul, everything is connected. And if the space is open, free, inviting, safe, and secure, my mental health is secure. Whenever there were times when I was going through difficult relationships, difficult issues, difficult experiences, difficult exposures where my soul was not at rest, things just wasn't good mentally for me. And I was thinking the opposite of space is constricted, restricted, caged, suffocated, and not at all positive. And I'm looking today specifically at the life of Isaac, Abraham's son, when he was in the land where the Philistines were, and he had challenges in the Gerar Valley where he was trying to dig up his father's wells. And the context is Abram was his dad, so Abram had wells before, and Abram was successful because we know he prospered. And then along came Isaac in the land of the Philistines, and Isaac was really prospering. He was doing really well. Then also the same thing happened to Isaac. So there's a lot of parallels there. But I'm not going to go into too much detail. And now we find that Isaac is doing well. So King Abimelech is asking him to move because he's prospering, he's doing too well. Because remember when there was a drought, God told Isaac to stay and he prospered hundredfold. So he was obedient. We see the obedience is also generational. His father Abraham was obedient, so Isaac's also obedient. Now he moved and he started, and now Isaac was restoring all the wells that his father had dug. And each time when Isaac's servants dug, the shepherds from Gerar came and claimed that it was theirs. So now eventually they came to the third well, which is from verse 22. But I'm reading from Genesis 26, and it is a New Living Translation. So I am going to read from 19 to 22, a little bit more than I normally would, but I think it gives us context. I read from verse 19. Isaac's servants dug in the Gerar Valley and discovered a well of fresh water. But then the shepherds from Gerar came and claimed the spring. This is our water, they said, and they argued over it with Isaac's herdsmen. So Isaac named the well Isaac, which means argument. Isaac's men then dug another well, but again there was a dispute over it. So Isaac named it Sitna, which means hostility. In 22, our main verse for today. Abandoning that one, Isaac moved on and dug another well. This time there was no dispute over it. So Isaac named the place Rehoboth, which means open space. For he said, at last the Lord has created enough space for us to prosper in this land. At last, the Lord had created enough space for us to prosper in this land. And it leads me nicely into my space for mental health, my mental space, my physical space, and how I am now in the space, my body, my mind, my soul, my spirit, everything is just in a good space because I really got nurtured and nourished in April. And April was my birthday month. So after the reset, I came back from Egypt. I still enjoyed really much being celebrated and with beautiful times and the gifts. And I'm still continuing to be blessed by the gifts. Also spent some time with Auntie Felicity and Ariva, and my friend Harvey came over with wholesome food, cooking, nourishing, talking, just doing the thing that really pours into my mental health. I love having people. I love connecting people. I love good food and all that was really great. But now when I don't focus on my mental health, it affects my physical health, my spiritual health and everything. So I did slack a little bit because I was on holiday. I've just come back from another holiday, and May is a month of mental health. So I'm doing a hard reset. So what happens in now with mental health? If things are not going good, things feel stuck, congested, restricted. I know I neglect my faith time, my reading time, my faith, and my Bible time, my spiritual time with God. I neglect my emotional health sometimes. I don't look at the signs and healthy, nourishing nutrition. I've been eating a lot of cakes and sweets and things because it was treats. Now it also affects, I'm sluggish, I'm not as motivated, and I just feel, oh, it's easier just to lie down and not do anything. So now I'm doing a reset. I'm doing a 21 days healthy eating and just looking at myself, reading more of the Bible, spending more time with God. And since I've been doing this, I've been feeling my dreams are clearer. I'm journaling more. I feel better in myself. And I'm doing more stretches in the morning and exercises, going for walks. So the reset is when everything comes into alignment, it affects mental health. So from this course, I'm doing a complex post-traumatic stress disorder. A lot of it goes to the habits we develop and also the patterns and how we protect ourselves to make it okay. But then there comes a time when it doesn't work anymore. These behaviors I have developed. So I had to look at this from a therapist perspective and also a patient perspective. And now what I'm looking at is a compassionate approach. The compassionate approach is looking at the habits, the thoughts, and the emotions that I've developed to cope, but now unpacking them and looking at them, looking at different ways to balance myself, looking at the issue. Is this really the issue here, or am I just defensive? Looking at how to look at things objectively, to unpack things and not to overthink and go down that spiral. And also how to be compassionate. So I might not have all the answers yet, but I am moving towards something different. So it affects the way I view situations, people, relationships, and also when it is time to renew, when it's time to release, and all that is all little steps I'm taking towards improving my mental health and maintaining positive mental health and a mindset, even though things could be difficult. So that's what I'm sharing today. I hope it's been useful. And remember to focus on being compassionate with yourself, nurture yourself, take care of yourself. Pay away, pay attention, be aware of the things that's not working. So until next time, stay blessed and beautiful.